Hello there, and this is my guide and tips on getting started in Sengoku Dynasty for version 0.4. This game has changed a lot since 0.1 and all the other updates. You got global villages now and global loot for them and all that kind of nice stuff that they added in there, and lots of skills and stuff like that for for this game. So there's lots of new things going on in this game, and that will change the priorities on getting started for this thing. So though some of the older content might not be as viable as it is today for that kind of stuff. So let's get started on all this information because there's lots going on for that. And of course, our main goal on getting started is going to be, for me at least, is leveling up your way of the leader skill so we can unlock these traveler outposts. That's easy to build, fast traveling outpost you can put anywhere you want. And we want to build these things as fast as possible, which involves leveling up our dynasty, which means more people and doing the special projects to get that done and doing the quest. And of course, we want to do that so we can start doing the way of the monk. That is the main goal, is to get this one up and running so we can get access to these skills and level them up there, because this gets 30% more experience for monk stuff, which would be the first one you want to get, and then 30% for warrior stuff, and then 30% more for craftsman stuff for experience on there. And then we have the other things like maximum stamina and maximum hit points and other things like you get no death penalties for if you die. If you have one of those things happens, you die, you don't have any death penalties. We want to get all this stuff leveled up first as fast as possible so we can make all these other skills like the warrior and craftsmanship level up a lot faster too along the way, so we can get things like more max hit points and mine stuff a lot faster, which is what I'd go in the craftsmanship right there. So we're going to go with the craftsmanship. I would do the mining pathway, and then add the stamina and stuff like that in there too. And then with the warrior, you can just pick and choose whatever you want at the end of the day. It all depends on your play style for that part right there. But getting more experience is going to be the optimal thing to do. Is the way of the game is to do this stuff a lot faster and more efficient. So let's go over the start of the game. So once you get started, you start off way over here on the beach, and you make your way over this town, and you start doing these quests. And one of the first things you're going to have to do is build your first village. Now, this game is still locked in there. You build one village, and then way later in the game, you start getting a second village and a third, and we don't even need extra villages anymore. We don't need to build a village over here anymore because they added fast travel points here, they added fast travel points here, and then it's just, fast travel for all these villages too. So this is where all the villagers are in the fast travel points. We can see those. They're lit up with their own special colors and stuff like that. This isn't really a village, so there is a merchant there, but that's an inn for now. But yeah, this is what's in the game right now. And so we want to unlock these fast travel points and get there as fast as possible and make some money and buy stuff. Unfortunately, this game is it's locked in on the seasons for your first season on what you can actually buy. So you can't buy the mastercraft items that you're going to want at the start of the game. You're going to have to wait a couple seasons. So that means running around and making money at the first season isn't really going to be the optimal use of your time. Sure, you're going to want to go over there and get some basic stuff, like maybe go make your way over to this town over here and buy some bow and arrows for yourself since you can't craft them right away, and then use all that money you made from looting and stuff like that at the start and get that done. But yeah, you're going to want to build your village, and that leads us to over in this spot over here by this lake. And we want to come over to this lake for a number of reasons, not just because we can build our fishing huts and stuff like that, but this is the only place right now where you can actually get ice mother loads in this game. The ice is picky. You have to go there every season and rediscover the whole node and then readjust your guys actually harvesting the ice on your mining thing to actually get it. But you need that ice for later on to make sake and stuff like that. And it's also good to sell. So make sure you sell it, at springtime or whatever, or just before the wintertime is when it melts, I believe, if you have the icing belt. But that's for later on. At the start of the game, well, there's lots of different things you can do to make some money at the start to get that basic stuff. Like I started another game up there and made 5k right off the bat, so that's like what was easy to do. You go over here at the fishing hut, just some things to note before you go off there and make your journey and pick the pathway that you want to go. There's a little fishing guy there. He has some loot. His hut has some loot in there. There's 2 chests over here in this place right here to get loot up there and sell to that little merchant right there. There's a guard tower, then the caves for another 3 chests at least to loot in this area right here and grab that fast travel point for yourself. There is a mine over here too for getting some extra iron for yourself, but it's blocked off by you need a better pick to get in that one, so that's not really that great for a start. But yeah, we don't need to build our base here. You want to make your way over to there any way you see fit. You can come this way, you can take the pathway and just ignore everything. You can come straight through here, go along the beach, get the road, and then follow the roadway over to here. And then if you really want to be easy, you can just follow the waterway all the way over to here, and you're there. You got this point right here. You sold your stuff, you bought some first things, and you're over here ready to go and building your first town and getting that up and running. Then you have your fast travel point, and you can go back and forth and start doing the quest in the off time. Like you build whatever whatever you can build, get your guy working, then go over there and start finishing off those quests as you can. But yeah, we want to travel around to all the different spots later on. So yeah, while we're here, you maybe want to screenshot where the towns are and stuff like that. So just to make sure we know where they are. But you're also going to want to get a note of where these other temples are, because right now I just found 5. There could be a little bit more, but these are where we're going to want to fast travel to all these locations, and they lead you to this temple over here, and it's just a cooked egg and a flower. So you might want to start doing this in fall. Hopefully you get this done by fall, because that's when you actually get those yellow flowers to actually use the temples up there, and maybe have your fast travel done by then. But yeah, there's one right here, there's one right there, there's a temple right up here, and there's another temple over there, and then the 5th temple I found was way over here. And I didn't do very much searching around the rest of the map, and so there could be other temples that are actually up and running. But right now they're not working. So there should be a temple over here, but it's not working. A temple over there, that's not working. And temple here, that's not working. That's where the other ones are. And another temple up here, that's not working. Yet. So there's lots of stuff that isn't really functional yet. Like these big mining projects, they don't work either yet, unless you build a town by them, which isn't really a good idea. Not really a great idea at the start. You don't really need it. You have a mine right here. So you got mine right here. It's not very flat. You could build over here where it's flatter, and you get a mine over there. That distance isn't very far. Your distance of your town can cover this guard tower up here that you can build if you really want to. You could do that. So this is where it is right here. So the guard tower is just up there. That's a special project to build, and the mine is just right there. So yeah, you don't have far to go. It is quite hilly at this location for building your town, but you have access to the water, and there's lots of easy things to do. Like at the start of the game, once you get the healing needs, you have some easy, cheap healing to do. So you got all these lotus flowers right here to pick, and this is where the ice is, all that kind of stuff to start your town off with. So yeah, just go nuts on that. Now you have the whole object is to get a lot of people as fast as possible, and that involves a lot of building. And you can't build everything at the start of the game. You got to level up your dynasty. That get slowly, basically, right? To get the stuff going, I would highly recommend just going with the carpentry stations right here. So build these stations, and I would say I would go with 3 of these stations, and then 2 workstations each. So you can have 6 guys working on carpentry, and then your first guys that are doing it, just have them get logs. Maybe your first 2 villagers are just getting logs, and then you go with the the forager hut, and then have them get grass. You would just grass is cheap and all that kind of stuff, and you could fast travel and try and buy it, but there's not much vendors actually sell grass or hay these days, and you need lots of grass and hay for your village. It's not too bad to actually get the hay for this game anymore, because you can build as many of these drying racks as you want, and you can just stick in 100 grass, and then 5-10 minutes later you get 100 straw out of it. But running around the map and cutting down trees and picking grass is very time consuming, and you want your workers to do that. So that's what I'd highly recommend you do, is get a couple guys working on just getting logs, and then the other workers getting grass for yourself, until you have a nice base of grass and hay for yourself that you can maybe cut down on the grass if you want to. But yeah, you're probably gonna need a lot, because all these special projects sometimes they need like 200 hay or 300 hay to get started on them, and you want to get those built as fast as possible for yourself. So yeah, we got that covered now. Now the only other thing in this game to worry about is your village structure. We got these nice rows to block all these stupid spawns and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to level up our dynasty and stuff like that. We have to get all these villagers' needs met. And so most of these can be easily done. And with you want to make this process as easy as possible for yourself. So let's go through them all. Now, first of all, we're going to cover the heating because you first get meals in this game, then you get water, then you get heating. Or I think it's maybe the other way around. Meals and heating, and then water, and then maintenance, and then health. And it goes around. But some of these things can be really easy. Like security is easy. It's a guard tower, and the spirituality is built a monk tower or a temple, and then it's a monk. I call it a monk tower, but a monk temple. Put a guy in there for a job, and then that's all you need for that. And luxury is just building that. We'll cover that later. But yeah, the heating needs can be more complicated, because you would think you just have a guy working on wood, but you want your woodworkers to actually make logs for yourself so you can build stuff and things like that. And the wood, and then you have a guy making charcoal is not as efficient, I believe, as just making your fish thing here. So the little fisherman's hut, you can build this pretty much right away at the this is one of the first collector things you can do. A fishing hut, or or a hunter's place. But you get a little bit more fish than you get meat, and look at all the workstations you can have. Like this is just sloppily built. built. You know, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 workstations. On the water, you can have boats. My place, it wasn't placed properly, and I placed it after a certain time or whatever. But yeah, for the fisher's hut, you can actually add, you know, boats to the side there, so adjust that properly. And those are workstations. So yeah, that's 6 workstations. And then I could add, it looks like I can add maybe a couple more workstations in here. So that's a lot of workstations for one building. And, you know, it's just easy to build an extra workstation to get that up and running. And we're here because, you know, we get fish for cooking and we get fish for the heating. And that's why we're here right now, is for the heating part for the fishing. So I'll just get to the menu faster. No, stop hitting that button. We'll go over here to our other fishing rack. Where is that? Fishing. Fisherman huts right there. The first guys I have are actually making the heat. So this is what you want. Just make oil. You have one guy collecting fish. He's collecting like 38 fish and making 38 oil. Just one guy, and he's making like 1,700 worth of heating needs right there. And just having a guy on logging and then have another guy making making coal out of it. That's 2 guys just to make 1,900. That's not really that much. That's not very efficient. And of course you could have like 1 logger per, you know, maybe 2 or 3 guys doing the heating, but yeah, it's a lot easier on yourself, and you can do this right at the start of the game. You don't have to worry about having the best axes. You just have to worry about having nets, which is hay, which is why you want to get more grass and stuff like that too, right? So that's just ropes, which you use to make out of hay for yourself, and they don't use too much. But yeah, that's a very good use of oil on there. And then we have our lots of fish too. So we can get extra for fish or put more guys on fish for yourself. It is just easier. And of course, you want to save your hunting to get a fur, because that's like the only way to farm fur in this game, and fat if you actually want to use fat for something. But yeah, that's what I have my hunting huts for, just getting fur so I can make leather and stuff like that. But as for the cooking needs for yourself, I'll go over why the fish is going to be the better meal, because once you start cooking and getting the cook pod in there so you get the more advanced meals, like this little fish meal is only worth like 8 or something like that for meals maybe, but the fish meals over here, they're really easy to cook. Is this one right here, the simple one here, is just 1 mushroom. You can have a guy foraging on mushrooms all season long. You have to switch what kind of mushroom, but yeah, you can get mushrooms. It's like 70 or so mushrooms this season, so that's every day basically. Every day you're collecting like 70 mushrooms, and you can get just as much fish off the guy. So that's a lot of meals on there, and these things are worth 30. And then once you get upgraded, you can go to the solid fish meals, and this is the best upgrade for meals by far. Going to the exceptional meals isn't worthwhile at the end of the day. This one here just uses 1 more fish, and it doesn't use 1 more fish. It's still using 1 fish, but it's just using 4 more herbs basically, right? So you're adding 4 herbs, and the herbs are pretty cheap. They're only worth like 2 each, so that's not very much added on there to double your meals on there. So that one's worth 30, and this one's worth 60. So this is by far the easiest way to actually go in there, and it still uses mushrooms, right? So you're just add some guy collecting herbs, or your farmer getting herbs, and then you doubled up your fish meals, which is less fish being used for and less work being done, so your guy can produce twice as much food for this the same amount of work basically, right? So that's much more efficient. And then the meat meals per se, because you're wasting your hunter on gathering meat, and then you have a guy growing cereal, which is really easy for the simple meals, so that's not bad. But the advanced meals is where it loses its little flavor on there, because using 2 meat is not an option on for the advanced meals, and using the extra, this is 6 mushrooms and 4 herbs, so yeah, you're using a little bit extra resources to make the solid meat meal. It's just 5 mushrooms, but still that's 1 versus 5. It makes a difference when you collect less than 100. So yeah, it makes it worthwhile at the end of the day. The other thing to note on here is your water needs, which is tea. Tea is going to be your best option for your water needs at the start of the game, because you can grow the tea herbs. It's only 1 season to grow the herbs, but you get lots of tea leaves out of it. Then 1 water is worth 4 for your needs, and 1 tea is worth 10. And of course, you want to do the water yourself. So just build a whole bunch of wells. You eventually build a little workstation in the wells. Once you get that done, all you got to do is you stick in 10 buckets, and then you get 1,000 water out of it, and then you just do this yourself. It takes a while. This is like maybe 20 minutes later, you get your water is full, but you just retrieve it and drop some more buckets in there, and it's like 1 plank to make a bucket or 2 planks to make a bucket, so it's not too much of an issue to do that yourself. And the workers do nothing. That's why I got the worker on here to show you the job on there. I hit the T, didn't I? let's go in there and try it again. Yeah, this guy's working. He's making 32 water. This is not the the ideal thing to do. The guy's pulling out 32 water. That's not much of the needs right there. 128, and you right now need 1,800. So that's a lot of guys working water. It is not balanced properly right now at all, and that's why you want to start making tea just to make that a little bit easier on yourself, and maybe get these guys off doing it, and make a whole bunch and just do it yourself all the time, right? Just do a mother load for yourself every once in a while, and just make a section with like 10 of them or something like that, just to make it easy on yourself. But yeah, that's what I would go with for those first needs on there. So let's go back over here and take a look what's next. And maintenance would be the next one that would pop up on your screen on there. Health would be the most complicated one for that. But for maintenance, we can get that done pretty easily. There's two things you can do for your maintenance, but the best one, once you get the best tools for yourself, that's the Mastercraft tools, you can buy them or craft them for after making money and stuff like that, is going to be, where's that carpentry station? Right there, that's what I'm looking for. It's going to be your fruit planks right there. So you can grab fruit logs and then fruit planks, get 16 logs, 15 planks, and this is worth 1,200 for your maintenance needs right there. So yeah, we need, how much maintenance do I need? I need like 2,000. So I need at least 3 guys doing this for my maintenance needs if I wanted to do it with just wood. That's why I say you need a whole bunch of wood guys, because you're going to be doing this. You might want to even build 4 of them, or you can go with other means at the start for that. But at the start of the game, you don't have access to these tools. You might want to do something else, and that would be the Chiseled Stone would be the next best thing to do, because it's separated, and you're going to have to build one of these stations. You're going to have to get rocks for yourself. You're going to have to have the guy doing that, and a stone is, you sell it for 1, but this sells for like 20, I think it is. So yeah, you can sell a rock for 1, or use 2 stones and make 1 chiseled stone and make a rock, and then sell that for 20. So you really need to, and you need jugs in there for your healing needs. So yeah, it's not too bad. You still make 38. The value is a lot lower, but the tool you're using is what matters. This is just 1 iron. Iron you can get lots of. There's an iron mine right here at the start of the game. The other town has an iron mine nearby for that. So yeah, you can get lots of chiseled stone. It has a good value, and this is something you do at the start of the game. That's going to be easy because you have a guy getting stone, and the guy collecting stone is like 300 stone. That's more than you need on there, so you can use that to get that and make some jugs with one of your other guys, because that's what you gotta do. You have to make jugs, and this is where the mine is, by the way, the other mine that's easy to access to. So if you make your way over here, there's a big mine right there, and most of the other mines like over here are blocked by big rocks, so you need a better pick to get through there. So that's why I was showing you that little mine right there. But that's another option you can do at the start, is the Chiseled Stone. You need lots of that for later on and stuff like that. Now for the healing needs on there, because the healing needs can be more complicated for your jobs on there. So let's go find that cooking station that I'm doing. That should be right there. The healing bombs are going to be your best choice, because that's what you need to heal yourself. And getting the max hit points in your game, it doesn't heal you up, which is really stupid. Getting more max hit points, that doesn't heal automatically. So you got to use more of these for yourself too. So yeah, crafting was a lot better because they are expensive to get and buy and all that kind of stuff. Now yeah, the healing needs, it covers quite a bit. So right now my health, I need this amount. I got it right down to the narrow margin for myself is for these healing bombs for myself. But yeah, my guy's also making some tea while he's at it. So I got lots more room for doing this. So just one guy is doing enough needs to keep my guys happy at the end of the day. This one's the more complicated one, so you need the stone jugs. And that's why I say you need the stone guy, you need the guy making stone jugs, and then the rest of his work can be made for chiseling, because you only need 15 of these, and you need chiseled stone for some of the other special projects, and maybe your roadways because they look nice, that kind of thing. But you're going to need to collect berries and herbs and stuff like that, so you can grow the herbs, the wasabi and the parsley and stuff like that. So parsley is like, you can get like 400 off your farm, I guess, and versus 300 for the other one, but it's seasonal, so you got to change it every season. And the berries are seasonal, so you need guys doing that, and you get close to 150 per worker, but you only have 2 seasons to collect berries, so that adds up pretty nicely for what I have right now. So one guy can do this for 2 seasons and get enough berries for the rest of for the whole year basically. But I have you need 2 guys to do it, at least to make sure you have enough because you don't want to run out, obviously. But this is the best option for the healing bomb, and we can check the other ones right there. So we can check them right now, because the burn ointment is really easy to make. We're right on the lake. We have lots of access to this lotus root, so right at the start of the game you can pick all this lotus root as much as you want, and then it's just water, and it's it's a decent value on there, but yeah, you need a lot more work power to get that done. The same workload is just worth 450 on there, so it's not worth very much to make it, but it is very easy to do at this location, and then you can grow it. later on, once you get that tailoring shop up and running, and you can craft these or buy the seeds for your farms and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not too bad to get started, but the other options aren't really that viable at the end of the day, because they are more complicated and stuff like that. Like the warming drink is really weak too, and that's just like any herb and water. So yeah, you can just go collect herbs and get that, but that's very weak to have a guy producing all just that. The poison one is too hard to do. The ice one is too hard to do because you need ice, and then the energy drink, you need lots of tea and herbs and stuff like that, and then you have to craft bamboo. It's a good value, but that's just too complicated at the end of the day. The anesthetic is like maybe for later on, because you can make all that sake and stuff like that. You make big loads of sake, but it's 18 herbs too, so that's quite a bit of herbs. And these are like the only other things that you can really do with this. So the sickness medicine is what I was using for a long time too, because it uses flowers and herbs, and they're both cheap items, right? They're only worth 2 each to sell, and then 4 to buy. So you can buy the ingredients pretty cheaply and make all this stuff without much of an issue, but it doesn't compare to healing bombs at the end of the day. So do the extra work for yourself and just go for the healing bombs and get that up and running as your next priority as soon as you get to the health part. And then security needs is pretty easy. Guard tower, put a guy in there, and then you just build some weapons for them. And the best weapons would be the bows, because they're the easiest to make. Make the long bows for yourself once you get that, and just use them. They have the nice good percent value on them. They add like 1.5 and 1.75 times the value for the guy doing the workload. And same for this, spirituality. You build a temple. The bigger the temple, you put the guy in there, and then you're good to go. From my 62 guys, I got 2 guys working on temples right now, and I think I got 3 guys on security for my security needs. So maybe just 2. I don't know. I don't remember. Luxury needs are going to be the last one, and making money tips. Okay, so the easiest way to make money is going to be the fruit things on there. That's it. Let's go over here and look at that instead for the fruit planks for yourself. So these fruit planks, as you can see, as you've seen before, you make a lot of them, and they are only worth 10. But you use these to make combs. It's just one of those makes a comb, and the comb itself is worth quite a bit. They are worth 80, and they're worth 60 for luxury. So that's what's going to cover your luxury needs and your selling stuff. So you just have your guy making a whole bunch of those planks, and then you can sit there and AFK and craft 1,000 of these or so once you got 1,000 planks or whatever at any time, and then you can sell them for like a nice good value, because they sell for 80 each. You can go around there and make a lot of money. That's why I got some money right there for myself, is just by making the combs and then traveling to all the villages and then just selling them all, basically, right? And then buying all the other stuff that I don't want to actually craft. And that's what you can do once you get stuff. That's how you get all the better tools at the start of the game. But you can't do that in the first 2 seasons. You can't get Mastercraft in the first 2. Maybe if you're lucky in the second season, but I haven't seen a Mastercraft tool. Some steel tools you can get, and that's what you want to do, is just start making those fruit planks right away, because there's nothing stopping you right now to actually go on there and say, hey, you just put a worker on there. If I hit the right button this time, you just go over here, and there's no requirements to get fruit logs, and there's no requirements to make fruit planks on there, right? You just need to have the tools, and then you're good to go. So I don't have any free workers, but I had that guy already on there doing the job, so we saw that already. He was making like how many planks was he making? Carpentry station number 4 is right here. How many planks are you making? Yeah, you're making 132 planks. So yeah, you do the math on that. You can make 132 combs for the extra a day. So yeah, that's why I said 1,000, because eventually you're going to come back here and say, hey, my guy for making money just made a whole bunch, and your course of value isn't going to be very good with iron tools or whatever, which you can make right away for yourself. But still, it's still a really easy way to make money for yourself, and that covers that. So yeah, there we go. Location for your base, the location for the temples. I don't know if I covered the location for the temples on up, but just to recap, there's a temple over here, there's a temple there, and there's a temple right here, and then a temple there, and then a temple over there, because that's important to get your experience up there. So yeah, that's what I would do. Go on there, and then in fall, hopefully you go there and start doing the traveling around in circles, doing the quest in between. You get your carpentry and stuff set up, and then you just let it go and let them collect, and as you do the quest, and then come back and then build as you collect your resources, and that's how you expand. Build your fishing hut, more workstations and mining stations and farms, and as you get more people, and just keep building as much houses as possible and getting as much people as possible, because your needs can be covered quite easily using the things that I showed you. So yeah, don't make it complicated on yourself. Just use fruit planks and for your needs, and just use fish for your fishing hut. Then you can worry about all the special stuff later on. So you don't have to worry about the mining and all that kind of stuff until you actually need it, and and same with the tailoring stuff. You can wait for later. All your needs are covered quite easily doing this. So yeah, that's it, I guess. There's really not much else you really need help with, I believe. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. If you have any questions or you actually do need help with something else, just leave a comment and I'll get to you eventually. I usually check it every day. Check my comments once a day or twice a day, something like that. But yeah, just I'll help you out if you actually need some extra help on getting started. So yeah, that is it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.